All right, good morning. Yes, it's a little windy here. Let's see the tree. Can we see the flag? Flagpole just kind of blowing around out there. So, yep, it's a little windy here this morning, but as you can see from the sky, it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure what the audio is going to come out like. This is supposed to be a like wind resistant microphone. So, and the wind, it ebbs and flows here. It'll be really strong, these huge gusts, and then not. But we are having a beautiful day. And speaking of beautiful, how are you, my beautiful friends? I am so happy to see you, happy to be here with you, and happy to share this day with you. Just feeling very grateful today. Not just because my pool is starting to actually look like a swimming pool. Not just because of that. I'm sure that plays pretty heavily into it, though. Let's see, the wind's died down, so I'm going to go ahead and put the microphone back on. My strap. Hopefully, we'll be good. So, talk to me. Tell me how your day went yesterday. Tell me about your challenges. Tell me about your successes. Share it all with me. It's all good. Oh, I can't get over how gorgeous this day is. I'm sure if we didn't have this breeze, it would be bloody hot, but it's gorgeous. This breeze is just making it beautiful. And having all of you here makes it even more beautiful. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Come on, little girl. So yesterday was Saturday, and we went into Tucson. Wanted to get an umbrella for the pool, and because it has a little hole, for the umbrella on the sun deck. And I know that Jeff is not going to be able to take the heat, so I want to make sure that there's an umbrella. So we picked one of those up, went to At Home. And although we have a landscaper who has a handle on the AstroTurf, I don't know why he wanted to go and look at turf. So, okay. So did a little Google search, found a couple of turf places. And the irony is, the first one we found was 20 minutes away from where At Home was. We went there, we looked, got a little bit of an education, and then came back. Or we didn't come back. Got a little bit of an education. And then he said, let's check out one more. And he's all about down here, I don't think we're down. Here in Arizona, there's a company called Bully Turf. And I think their big thing is like how good it is for when you have pets. So what we're getting the turf for right now, I don't think is such a big deal as far as the pet friendly part of it. But, you never know. She could decide to pee wherever she wants to pee, and I'm going to have to clean that up, so I get it. So we went ahead, and it's called Bully Turf. Bully Turf. And they had an office in Tucson. And we saw online, and according to online, it was open till 2 o'clock. It was just 12. So we go ahead, punch in the coordinates, get, Google Maps to take us to Bully Turf, which turns out to literally be right next door to At Home where we started out. That's the funny part. However, showed they were open till 2 o'clock. We got there. They're not open at all. Called the number. They're like, I don't know why they're not in the office. I'm not in that location. It's kind of a general number that you call. He says, but yeah, nobody's answering. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, well, I can set up an in-home consultation. I'm like, yeah, no, we're looking to have this done in the next couple of days. So that's okay. Thank you. So we did that. Then we went to get something to eat. We found a place called Burgess's Bagels, and we got a couple bagel sandwiches to try. Their bagels were okay. Probably some of the, other than the ones I found in Bisbee at that little cafe, probably the better bagels that we've had since we've been here. So we tried a pastrami and egg sandwich, and Jeff loves to have lox, so he got one with lox. And then I don't care for lox, so I didn't try his, but he did try mine. And when we were leaving, I asked him how he was feeling, and he said he felt like he had a little heartburn. I said, okay. He goes, I'm okay, I just feel like I have a little heartburn. I said, okay. So we start to head home, and there's a section of I-10, a very small section of I-10 that is under construction. However, going west, never a backup. A slowdown, but never a backup. Every time you go east, there is just one hell of a standstill backup. And of course there was. It said only an 8-minute delay, so we didn't take the alternate route. And we just ended up sitting in traffic, which was, Jeff was getting aggravated because, everything goes into the left lane. And it's signed well in advance about the right lane being closed. Left lane is the only lane. Even a sign that says trucks left lane only. And of course, all the trucks are going in the right lane. A bunch of cars going in the right lane. Which then what happens? Everything comes to a standstill while these people that went in the right lane need to get over to the left, get over. So Jeff's getting aggravated. And I told him, I'm like, calm down, just breathe. He's like, I'm not going to be able to breathe. I could die. I'm like, what? I looked at him. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't feel well. Yeah, I told you I didn't feel well. I said, you told me you felt like you had heartburn. You did not tell me that you were having any other kinds of symptoms. Well, I didn't want you to worry. I said, really? I would much rather you tell me, come on, girl, tell me while we're in a big city near hospitals and urgent care centers that you're not feeling well, because I would much rather sit in a parking lot for 30 to 45 minutes until you think you're feeling well enough to go than I would to be sitting in traffic, sit still traffic, with a hospital or urgent care center nowhere around for at least 20 miles. I would much rather sit for 30, 45 minutes in a parking lot than I would be stuck here and then having you have a heart attack. Because what am I going to do? I'm going to have to throw his ass on the ground in 100-degree heat and start CPR. I don't want to have to do that. It is not that I'm not capable, but I don't want to have to go through that. And then he acted like he didn't want to hear it. Oh, man. So aggravating sometimes. Then when he started to feel better, miraculously is when the traffic started to move again. I had said to him, I'm like, is it possible that what you were feeling was anxiety because you were sitting still in traffic and everybody was going where they shouldn't have been going? He's like, no, it wasn't like that. I said, okay, no problem. I said, next time, if you're not feeling remotely well, I don't want to move. I don't want to move from wherever we're at. If we're out and about, I want to find the nearest medical facility that can take you in case something goes wrong. So that was that. He was okay. I don't know what he was feeling. I don't know what was going on, but he was okay. I mean, all's well that ended well, right? So brought him home. I made sure he had plenty to drink. And we know he's not dehydrated this time. There is no way this man can be dehydrated. Believe me, we've been pumping fluids, pushing fluids into this man like crazy. So you don't have to worry about that. And I really think it has to do with these clogged arteries. Oh gosh, looks like this house is going to be available for rent again pretty soon. Yep, it's empty inside again. So this house rented out, whoops, I think I just dropped you. Well, twisted you down anyway, didn't drop you. This house rented out for $1,800 the last time. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They have a nice sized backyard, and they're on a corner lot similar to mine. So anyway, got him set up at home, and I went to wash my car, and then I went to Walmart, and I checked in with him a couple of times. The second time I called him, he's like, I'm trying to take a nap. I said, okay, I won't call and bother you. And when I got home, he was napping, and he woke up shortly after I got home. And then we met up with my sister and went out for dinner, went to Guadalajara's again. It took an hour, no lie, no exaggeration, an hour for our food to come. When it came, I ordered 2 fish tacos and rice instead of fries. And I don't know if they ran out of tomatoes. I have no idea. But the rice was white rice with peas and corn and carrots in it. Not their regular red rice. So I'm going to assume that they must have run out of tomatoes. I don't know. Which is kind of crazy for a Mexican restaurant whose side for every dish is Spanish rice to not have any tomato sauce so you can make your damn rice. Who am I? Okay. But the rice was, I'm going to say crispy, and it was not the intentional crispy rice. It was dried out and hard, in addition to just being white rice. And my tacos were cold. And Jeff had black beans as a side on his. And you know when the beans sit and they get that film on top and it kind of looks crusty? Yeah, his looked like that. I guess the manager came around and asked how things were going. And I was like, oh, you know, I didn't say anything. And Jeff and my sister were like, you know, her food came out. We waited and her food came out and it was cold. And she's like, oh, here, I'll take it back. I'm like, no. I said, we waited an hour for this and we have somewhere to go. I said, I don't have more time to wait. I said, it's just a shame that I waited an hour and I didn't even get hot food. And she's like, I'm so sorry. You know, I'll take it off. She says, you can keep the food. I said, I just said, I don't want you to take it off, you know, especially if I'm going to eat it. But you need to be aware. She goes, no, I'm going to take that off for you. I said, okay. So, I mean, they did what they could to make it right. I really think that we just seem to have a hard time in this town getting people to work. That's going to be my guess. So, it wasn't the best dinner experience. And then we went to the Stand Up for Freedom Festival here in town. And it's just a small festival kind of behind Warrior Healing Center and then this place called Doc's Watering Hole. And we went there, and unfortunately it was smaller than it was last year, and it was probably one of the better festivals I'd been to last year. I was talking to one of my students who I saw there, and he was saying, yeah, last year there were 71 vendors, this year there's only 50 vendors, and I was like, well, that's a shame. But I did video, and then I edit that video and get it up for y'all, so you know, you'll be able to experience that with me. And I saw several people that I knew, so of course stopped and chatted with them. And I know both of the people running for mayor, and they're both wonderful people. I'm really going to have to take a deep dive into their politics and where they stand on the things that are important to me, and you know, make a decision that way, because I think they both want what's best, you know, for the city. It's just, how's that going to work for a small business owner? How's that going to work in general for me? Looks like somebody else is moving. Got a lot of moving activity in our little town here. Maybe getting near the end of summer, so people are moving before school starts? I don't know. But there are 4 houses for sale and 1 or 2 for rent in the neighborhood. The one for sale on this side of the street over here isn't even on the MLS, but there's a for sale sign in the yard. I keep checking just because I like to look at houses. And there is a house for sale. We've walked by down this first block here in my neighborhood, and the houses are a little bit bigger, and they're very nice looking houses. I imagine they were probably some of the first ones to be built, because they're very Spanish style instead of more of this Mediterranean style. And there aren't too many houses in the neighborhood, just the few that are on that block are like that. And the one house that's on that block is not much bigger than my house. Like, and when I say not much bigger, I mean like 100 square feet bigger. And the inside isn't anywhere as nice as what I have. Even before my work was done, before I did the work, not as nice. And it's going for like $430, $425, I think. So I was like, wow, I really like my house. I'm really happy with my house. This is awesome. Because it had like the tile countertops, which no bueno. Tile countertops no good if you are a cooker person. That grout is going to suck up chicken juice and all that nonsense that would spill in. So I want to make sure that I use my thing. If there was a house when we were looking that had those countertops, I was like, that's got to be the first thing to go. I have to have, granite. Yeah. I love the look of like the Corian and stuff, but after speaking with people, it stains, and the heat from the pots will turn it yellow. And that happens because like the Corian and other, I don't know what else they call them, but those kind of countertops are a composite that's put together and held together with glue. And it's the glue that's changing the colors. And there's nothing you can do once it goes yellow to get that original color back. So as pretty as they are, and as much as I would love to have them, they're not going to work for me. Not the way I cook. So the way I use my kitchen, I should say. So I will always have to be a natural stone girly. And the marble is absolutely beautiful, but it cracks easily. And so marble would not work for me. I need that durable granite. So I always look for kitchen with granite countertops. Let's see. Anyway, that was our Saturday. I will get the video from Stand Up for Freedom up and rolling. And yeah, and then we had the guys show up today. You can, of course, watch the pool video once I get it posted. But I had gone to work out. I left the house at like about 20 after 6. And when I got home, it was a few minutes to 8. And they were already there and working. They already had a lot of the area prepped. Jeff said they got there at 6:30. Wow, all of the crews would be like that, huh? So they were there at 6:30 this morning. Took them 2 hours to prep. And then I went to the studio, taught my class. Only had somebody show up for 8:30, so I kept back to the house about 10:20. And the whole inside of the pool was sprayed out already. And I don't know what they were doing because I can't say that I know what they're doing. But they were, I think, making it bluer. And I told them, as blue as you can go is fine with me. I want a really blue pool. So they were doing great. And they're so happy. I started the video by saying that. So I'm just so happy that they're so happy. And that's everything. That is yesterday. So our recap of yesterday. I don't know what the rest of today has in store for me. I think I want to go to Marshall's. I'm not sure. I did order some lounge chairs for the pool, the ones that sit on the deck. Ordered those. We've got the umbrella. I had gone to Walmart yesterday, and one of my husband's friends has a little baby, and he's probably 6-7 months old now. And I got one of those teeny tiny. Well, he's got to be older than that because I think he's getting ready to walk. Anyway, I got him one of those teeny tiny Adirondack chairs. So he can put it on the little shelf in the water if he wants and dangle his feet, or he can just have it outside the pool area. He won't be in it beyond this summer, obviously, but I just thought it was cute, so I picked it up for him. And what else did I get? I got Staples while I was there. You know, they had some vinegars on sale. Picked up some flavored vinegars. And I found a really pretty sundress that was on clearance, and a pair of sandals for $3. And that's about it. Yeah, I think that's everything. I don't have anything else to go on and on about. I just wanted to check in with you, give you a little recap of Saturday. Of course, if anything exciting happens today, I will get back on and we'll make another little video. That is not to be worried about. Also, when they're finished with whatever they're doing today with the pool, then I will video that. They say they're coming back tomorrow, so let's hope that all of that actually happens. And of course, I'll check in with you tomorrow. So I hope you have an amazing afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this from wherever it is that you're at. And I will see you very soon. Have a great day.